Well, we can finally say it. The NBA regular season is about to get underway. And here at 2K Sports, we couldn't be happier. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Doris Burke will be reporting from the sidelines. We've got an Eastern Conference battle ready to get rolling, and the Chicago crowd wants some love from their Bulls. Here, matched up against Cleveland, is how they'll kick off the new season. They could only manage a single win in 4 tries against these guys last year.
Yeah, and they're hoping for a better showing against this club this season. Last year, they came out on the losing end.
And, you know, with 2 teams in the upper pyramid in the early going, important to establish that pecking order, especially within your conference. So this game is important.
A look at Cleveland's starting group. Kyrie Irving and J.R. Smith at the guard set. LeBron James is out there with Kevin Love. And it's Thompson in at the 5 down low. Irving against Butler. And now we've got the intentional foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Yeah, yeah, completely a brain fade. I don't know where that came from. Just lost sense of time and the situation.
Now here is Smith. Irving kicks to LeBron.
Yeah, trying to get going here, but that's an offer for the first 5 here to start the game.
You know, for Carlos Boozer, last year was a bit peculiar. I mean, after being a key player for several playoff teams throughout his career, he landed on the Lakers where the playoffs were nowhere in sight. Tough environment for a veteran to succeed in.
Chicago's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Now it's ended down to Doris Burke, who was able to talk with head coach Tyronn Lue.
He said a big key for them will be containing Carlos Boozer offensively, adding, he's a player who can spread the floor with his jump shot or take you down the block, and it's tough to match his strength inside. Defensively, they'll look to keep length in front of him and limit his offensive rebounding. Sounds like a good game plan, guys. We'll see how they do it.
Thank you, Doris. Now here's Jordan, following the miss by Kyrie Irving. Wasted no time on that one. Jordan's got the first points up on the board tonight here for the Bulls. Rose against Smith. And Smith gets double-teamed and stolen by Jordan. And here's the fast break. Jordan leading the way. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Jordan's got 5 points so far.
Great idea to pull up and take the transition 3 there. The D was in position to block his path to the hoop if he took it inside.
James tips it. Boozer with the rebound. Well, Chicago's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. That's good. Rose has got his first basket.
And they continue to add to their lead. They might be ready to pull away.
No surprise from my end. I mean, they've been really good, and they're looking even better.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Kia.
How about the start that they've gotten off to here? Huge lead, and we're still in the first quarter.
And, guys, it hasn't just been the scoring. I mean, they're playing tremendous defense, too.
And injuries, once again, were a central theme of the Bulls' season last year. Losing Rose was one thing, but then having Jimmy Butler lose a lot of time, putting them in such a tough spot.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Cavaliers. And for the Bulls and injuries, a lot of teams plan for these type of things. There's only so much Clark can do to mitigate losing your starting backcourt.
But I tell you, great respect and admiration for the Bulls for how they fought through the difficulty. I mean, their front court did what they could. The injuries, once again, I thought turned the Bulls from championship contenders to just a playoff team.
Now the Bulls with it. 11 unanswered points for them. And Gasol now top of the key. Noah dishes to Gasol. The shot by Butler, nobody around. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Butler's got 5 points so far. The Cavaliers trail by 14. Knocked away and stolen by Butler. All alone, throws down the breakaway jam.
Oh, they are putting the hammer down. A huge lead right now.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if we're talking about their offense or their defense. I mean, it's all been good.
Grant gets a wide open look and airballs the triple. That one was way off. Puts it up. Again, Chicago.
It's taken them no time to build this lead up. Great first quarter offensively.
But no time to relax here. They've got to keep the pressure on with the defense, and I think they've got to try to put this one away early.
Jumps up. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
This is crazy. Every shot they're taking right now is finding the mark.
Literally every shot, partner. I mean, they just aren't missing.
Grant outside. From beyond the arc. Rebound by Rose. Chicago leading by 20. Butler on the wing. And Chicago with another bucket.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up. You know, Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who had to overcome major odds just to get to the NBA. Reportedly, his father abandoned the family when Jimmy was an infant. Mom kicked Jimmy out when he was 13. The obstacles and adversity go on, yet he's made it and made it big.
Boozer, he's checked in for Chicago. Jordan comes in for Rodman. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it. And now let's have a look at the teams that were last year's best from the free throw line. The Bulls third.
Collectively, I mean, they had an amazing year at the free throw line. Sometimes free throw shooting can be contagious. And it seemed like everyone on their team had the hot hand.
And going back to Jimmy Butler, times when he was set up to fail. He was not as in high school in the Houston area. Now in the NBA, so he played in college, which I think humbled him just a bit, but maybe gave him that work ethic that is so much, Greg, a part of his game now.
And Kevin, the talent was, as we see how he dealt with adversity, the heart finally transferred to a major college and worked his way into becoming a first-round pick. Quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slant.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
And they're able to recover. And even 3-on-3 break. Rose kicks to Boozer. Jacks up a three. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got assist number 5 here tonight. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find some, you're right. A nice shot by Jordan.
And really that's what built the early lead here. Killer shooting from beyond.
And the defense needs to recognize that and get to the shooters. It's imperative that they get a hand up.
And Rose throws it down.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and we could see right there.
And Pau Gasol, after some great years and some difficult years, talks about now his newfound excitement playing with the Chicago Bulls.
I mean, I think it's been noticeable just because.
I think you'd have to say that Gasol's decision to go to Chicago, Clark was great. He clearly gave it a lot of thought, and it's hard to imagine him having made a better pick.
You know, I agree. Not only is he happy, but so are his teammates. Ask Rose and Noah and Butler. Those guys love playing with him, and you can see how the change of scenery rejuvenated the big Spaniard, too.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for Chicago.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And also defensively, they've been able to cause some turnovers tonight, and that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
Grant is out there with Noah. Then it's Rose. Then it's Jordan. And it's Rodman in at the 3 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from three-point range.
The defense is just not closing out quick enough. Now, one spot the Cavs did struggle with last year was help off the bench. They were last in the league in bench scoring.
Mozgov, he's checked in for Channing Frye. Outside Jordan, from outside the arc. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got 6 assists in the game. For Cleveland, they've gone 0-3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second quarter. A chance here to get a quick injury report.
Thanks, Kevin. I just talked with the Cavaliers' head athletic trainer. Not what we wanted to hear, guys. It sounds like it's a very serious injury. A discouraging development for this team so early in the season. We'll see what kind of impact it has on them in the long term, guys.
All right, Doris, we will, of course, keep everyone updated as we find out more.
And you know what? He could have a long road ahead in terms of getting back on the court. But one thing we all know, he's never been shy of hard work.
No, he's not. I mean, he'll be doing everything he can to make it back as soon as possible.
LeBron passes to Mozgov, and he can't stop the run as he misses.
Well, they've only got a slight edge in rebounding when you look at the numbers, but it certainly feels a lot bigger than it is.
Yeah, the score has a lot to do with that. Their overall effort and execution has been elite.
James outside. He kicks to Irving. To the middle. Here's Mozgov. The shot will not go. And the Bulls going the other way now. Rose gets a wide open look. Another 3 for Chicago.
Defensively, just too many baskets in transition. That's been the difference.
And you know they work on that plenty in practice. A run out here and there will happen. That's part of the game. But they've got to do a much better job overall.
Well, Chicago is going to sublime 4 of 4 from three-point range since we've gotten in here to the second quarter.
Now, this is just getting ridiculous. They can't possibly keep this up.
Can't remember the last time they missed one. Remarkable shooting here. And you look at Joakim Noah. I mean, one of those hybrid talents. As a center, he gives you the rebounding, the shot blocking you want. But then he also has tremendous passing skills and instincts. And the energy of a mountain lion. This is definitely a day he'd like to forget. He just hasn't had the energy or the intensity to get it done out there. He's still scoreless.
His shooting has been outstanding here. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
And going back to Joakim Noah, he really is a hybrid. He holds American, Swedish, and French citizenships. He's truly a man of the world, and he's worldly on the floor. He can guard and play a lot of different positions.
And Kevin, he looks like a man of the world. He has a unique style unto himself, but I'll take the versatility and the hustle he brings on my team any day. If he's healthy, he's a factor.
You got to give him a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
They've done a lot of things well today, but really it's about what they've done on the backboard that's at the top of that list.
Poked away. Oh, and here comes Rose all alone. Here's Jordan, and it's sent back by Irving. Irving double team. There's the dish to Thompson. On the wing, James. 6 on the shot clock. Oh, and a fast break for the Bulls. Grant leading the charge, and the dunk by Jordan.
And you can see the difference with their ability to win with their speed, guys.
Boy, I love the pace and flow that their open court offense has been played with. I mean, it's been humming quietly, but very efficiently.
The pass to Mozgov. On the wing, Irving. And no good. Trying to use the glass.
Yeah, the offense seems completely in disarray.
Exactly. But at the other end, it's one bucket after the other. This run is getting out of hand right now.
Cleveland's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Here's LeBron. They need this one. Noah with the block.
The struggles just continue this quarter. They can ill afford to have this many empty possessions. And scoring at will, starting to pull away here.
Certainly this one's threatening to get out of hand, and soon, partner.
Now James still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. All alone, and Rose throws it down hard. He has a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
Yeah,
wow.
That could very well be a contender for Dunk of the Year, and perhaps might make its way all over the internet.
I tell you what, that is the crowd pleaser of all crowd pleasers.
And it's Jordan with the jam.
He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him.
Puts it up from 17, and he gets it to go. Jordan's got 28 points for the game.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
Picked by Mozgov. Irving from long range. And some nice defense there to end the quarter. And so a pretty lot.
Kevin, I have...
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey folks, welcome back. Ernie Johnson along with Kenny the Jet Smith. Chicago was looking great right away. They ended up scoring 14 unanswered points. And that's going to do it for now as the second half is just about to get started.
And we welcome you back to the NBA here on 2K Sports. And we're ready to get going once more. The players having a chance to have a short break and get some rest themselves and get refueled and hydrated with some Gatorade. More terrific basketball in store for us tonight. What a game we're seeing from Michael Jordan.
You know, and as effective as he was at slashing to the hoop in that first half, even better at finishing once he got there.
Guys, we saw some amazing dunks from him. I can't imagine he'll be able to top those in these last two quarters. But I'd love to see him try.
Checking out the group for Tyronn Lue to start the second half. Kyrie Irving and J.R. Smith at the guard set. Kevin Love out there with Thompson. And it's James in at the small forward position.
Guys, the Bulls defense was as stout as ever last season. A big part of that is they have guys that challenge you inside and at the rim. Even off the bench, all of their bigs are mobile and protect the basket.
A big group substitution here for Cleveland. Grant, he's checked in for Tristan Thompson. Jefferson comes in for LeBron. Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for Smith. And Mo Williams subbed in for Irving. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
And this is like another case of Murphy's Law right now, and it's been their own doing, really, just like we saw there.
Well, they're really making a point of keeping the ball moving around.
Yeah, gotta love this teamwork. I mean, everybody's involved and engaged. It's just a thing of beauty to watch.
It is, and Clark, that's the key. The D can't focus on one player, and no matter what anybody tells you, that ball will always move quicker than the defender.
And again, Chicago running the court in transition.
Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you know, exploding to the basket like that, Greg, just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly how you want to do it.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Kia. Here's Dellavedova, defended by Gasol. Dellavedova kicks to Grant. Misses from close range. Here's Chicago. Right now, they're on a 9-0 run. And here's Jordan outside. Another three for Chicago.
Strong work for him at the offensive end, helping them to maintain that lead.
Williams against Jordan. And stolen by Jordan. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
And it's all one-way traffic tonight, boy. They have been lights out offensively.
And there's no telling how big that lead's going to get. But, again, it's just one game, but nonetheless a very impressive one, the way they've handled their business here.
Not a fan of those kinds of passes.
Tony Kukoc, he's checked in for Jordan. Here's Rose. 28 points for him. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
And all of a sudden, you can see the confidence overflowing offensively.
Getting everything to drop and at an ideal time. I mean, they're poised for a terrific crunch time run here.
The shot's good on the assist by Butler. That's now 32 points for Derrick Rose.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Yeah, they have really owned the interior. You've got to collapse that defense and force them to beat you over the top.
And Jefferson, here we go. Comes up empty down low.
Boy, he blew the easy two by profile. Trying to look good. That's a bad decision and poor execution. This is some kind of performance we're seeing from him today. He has yet to miss a shot. Really impressed with the way Jimmy Butler last season made big strides in this game, going from a supporting role player to someone you can build your team around.
What an incredible run they're on right now. Offense as well as I've ever seen it played.
Every single guy on their team with the absolute Midas magic touch, shooting the lights out here.
It's stolen by Rose. Now here's Rose, the fast break opportunity. The pull-up. That's good on the jump shot. Rose has got 10 points here in the second half.
And how about the pressure they're able to now start to apply, taking advantage of every miscue?
Guys, the big advantage has really been the points off turnovers.
And the Bulls tack on 2 more. And Jimmy Butler had the career highs across the board last season, won the Most Improved Player of the Year award, really picking up his production in his 4th season.
You know, we had seen the flashes of potential in Butler before. Last season, he sustained great play and really took everything to the next level.
And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Channing Frye's checked in for Grant. LeBron comes in for Jefferson. Amon Shumpert's checked in for Matthew Dellavedova. And it's Grant in for Mo Williams.
Boy, has he put his foot on the pedal here this quarter. He's doing a terrific job in terms of leading their offense. And how many extra possessions have they gotten because of that rebounding edge?
Well, it's been a bunch, and I think it's made the difference in the game. I mean, they've actually done a great job on the board.
And one problem with the Cavs last season was they put immediate pressure on themselves. A part of that was the trade for Kevin Love.
And the Bulls making a change here. Jordan's checked in. And Cleveland with a change here, too. Thompson's checked in.
Defensively, I think they've got to do a better job of bodying them up.
Clearly, they've been outclassed in the paint, really at both ends of the floor.
As you said, the Cavs put a lot of pressure on themselves because of the trade. You could see it affect the way they came out of the gate, Clark.
And, you know, it was just night and day, Kevin, when the Cavs began to relax and click. I mean, a total transformation and turnaround. They would go 19-20 in the first 39 games, and then 34-9 over the rest of the season once those guys gelled and got locked in.
Tipped away. It's stolen by Rose. And here we go, the Bulls fast break. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at either end, steals, fast break buckets, and the other team scrambling to find its game.
Great point. I mean, that aggression has allowed them to just create a lot of havoc, and boy, are they taking advantage.
James kicks to Grant. Some nice passing by Cleveland here, and out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
A different look now for Cleveland. Smith comes in for Shumpert, and Kyrie Irving subbed in for Grant. Wasted no time on that one. Rose has got 48.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Simply taking advantage of what the defense has given them, and they've really made the most of it.
And here's Jordan outside. Another three for Chicago.
The defense has just been unable to slow him down. Wow, what a game.
And stolen by Jordan. And here we go, the Bulls fast break. Gasol dishes to Butler. Puts up a three, and that one's good. Butler's got 10 points now just in this quarter.
And they clearly are just destroying this group right now from the three-point line.
Yeah, and the defense knows it. I mean, they are fully stretched out trying to stop the three-point shot and still haven't been able to do it.
we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. Cleveland with the ball. Up next for them, the Grizzlies at the FedEx Forum. That will conclude their brief two-game road trip. Bibby is out there with Jordan. Then there's Grant. Then there's Noah. And it's Kukoc in at the small forward. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls. Here's Jordan. Again, Chicago.
And that's exactly how they've gotten the lead right here. Easily, he's been their most consistent performer.
As simple as it gets. He's hitting everything he's looked at. Keep feeding the fire.
Mozgov wide open. He fires. Another miss by Mozgov.
Trailing here in the game, you can look at his performance as a direct indicator of why they're losing.
And here's Jordan outside. And yes, sir, that one drops. Jordan's got 46 points.
This defense is giving their shooters free reign to operate from behind the arc.
And when you allow shooters to get in a rhythm, then you're going to have problems because they can hit it even when you start to defend it with intensity.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
And the Cavaliers with some changes. Kevin Love's checked in for Fry. Shumpert comes in for Richard Jefferson. And it's Grant in for Mo Williams. Bibby for 3. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
And, Greg, it's hard for me to watch this. I mean, the defense practically giving them those shots.
Kukoc pass to Bibby. And all around the rim that time before dropping in. Bibby's got 5 points now this quarter. And a look at how the hustle game has been going for Chicago.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
Knocked loose. And here's the fast break. Jordan leading the way. And he caps off the fast break with a monster slam.
Well, there's hot guys, and then there's really hot. They just can't miss.
You know, Greg, sometimes you'll see an individual guy go on a shooting tear like this, but the whole squad, wow.
Bibby with it, shoots the 3, and again it's the Bulls from deep.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Jordan kicks to Bibby. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. From deep three-point range, cannot hit. Good D from Love. Pass to Mozgov. Grant outside. There's the double team with Grant. Grant dishes to Love. Fast break. Here comes Chicago.
Really a heads-up play on both ends there. The steal and the quick push on the break.
Rapid-fire basketball at its best. Boom, 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 bang.
Dellavedova, the pass to Grant. In transition, here come the Bulls. Kukoc gets the bucket.
I'll tell you what, a ton of their offense coming in transition. And if you've got the legs for it, I think that's the best way to play the game.
I agree. Put pressure on the defense. Get the ball up the floor. You can always pull it out and run your half-court sets.
And so they foul intentionally.
And something that's been whispered about around the NBA is expansion. We know there are some markets that want desperately to have an NBA team. The NBA might not be at 30 teams for the foreseeable future.
Chicago making a switch here. Gibson's checked in, knocks it loose, and stolen by Jordan. Grant against Bibby. Good on the triple. Bibby's got 15 points here in the second half.
They've really caused a lot of trouble with their defense, and it's paying dividends for them at the other end.
Good defense leads to easy offense. No one can question that's the case right now.
There are markets in the U.S. that want an NBA team. Seattle, which has been a great NBA friend, has been trying to get a team back since the Sonics left for Oklahoma City.
Clearly, Seattle's the lead name domestically. The NBA has also talked about adding a European division. A lot of different options for expansion. Don't think any will be acted on anytime soon.
The drive by Shumpert. And he can't bank that one in.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant. Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
And it's something we haven't seen much of at the opposite end of the floor.
No good from Grant.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for Chicago.
And they could do no wrong today, Steve. That's right. This was a team performing to its Clark fullest capability.
Yeah, and a very satisfying win for him, too. A game to remember, and on the other side, definitely one you want to forget as soon as possible.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And asserting themselves right from the start, guys. They'll be taking the front end of a 4-game season series between these two clubs. They've got to feel good getting the upper hand tonight against the Cavaliers.
And when you look back at this one, what an amazing performance this was for Derrick Rose. A big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving, finding guys when they would flash open.
Shumpert, no good.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Here's Bibby, and it's Chicago scoring again.
This is a serious game-clinching run they're on.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just not backing off here. I mean, they're looking to close this one out in style. What a time to have this kind of serve.
And slam dunk by Jordan.
And just a terrific job of taking care of business in front of the home fans.
And, Greg, those fans had a hand in the win. I mean, they gave this team a big lift throughout the game. I thought there was great energy in the building.
And now the fast break. Grant with the ball. Another one falls for Chicago.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
Grant kicks to Love. And the ball goes out of bounds. It's touched by Love.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Here is Bibby. And that falls.
That one was solid. There's a big difference in the field goal percentages between these two teams here in the second half.
And, Greg, that difference has come about because we've got one team moving crisply, getting good shots, and the other is just kind of stagnant.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, thank you, and now we get a chance to check out our Jordan Player of the Game. It was nothing short of a professional offensive clinic he put on today. He hit shots from every place he took them, and he took a lot of them to score more than 50 points.
He was literally unstoppable tonight, Ernie. Those defenders that were trying to guard him are going to have nightmares tonight. He put on a clinic on how to break down the defense. With that kind of performance, it's going to be hard to repeat it.
I don't know if there's a fan base that loves their star more than this crowd. Wow. I'm getting jealous, and he feeds off that support. Once they got behind him, he became unstoppable, man.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome, everyone, to the NBA on 2K Sports. Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, joined by my partners, Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. Well, it was the Chicago Bulls winning their last game against the Pistons in Detroit. A three-point win in that one. Always nice to come out on top in a close game.
Well, that was a very physical game, and I think that plays into their hands. So a lot of their points came at the foul line.
And it also led to a lot of foul trouble for some of the key guys they were up against. So we can't forget about that part of it either.
A look at the starting group for the Magic. Gordon and Vucevic together in the post. Hardaway is out there with Anderson. And it's Wallace in its small forward.
Well, it was a defensive issue for the Magic. They had trouble stopping opponents last season, guys. I mean, didn't really challenge anything at their own rim. And that's really what made it tough for them.
And it looks like he might just be on his A game today, Clark.
That's tipped and stolen by Jordan. And here's the fast break. Jordan leading.
And that's it. Yeah. You know what? He wasn't going to wait around for any help on that break.
Solo Soiree performance all the way. How about that for a little bit of a limerick?
I'm going to let it slide.
Oh.
And early on, they looked great. They've made all 4 of their shots to start this game.
This is to Anderson. And Vucevic can say it was last touched by Vucevic.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
And 3 from Jordan, and that one's good. Jordan's got a pair of threes now in the first quarter for the Bulls.
It's taken them no time to build this lead up. Great first quarter offensively.
But no time to relax here. They've got to keep the pressure on with the defense, and I think they've got to try to put this one away early.
You know what? I think he had to call timeout right now just to get his guys to regroup because they were really ragged out there.
Yeah, they've got to get some things straightened out, and sometimes the best way to do that is with the timeout. They look to be overwhelmed right now.
And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. Fades and shoots. Rebound by the Bulls. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Orlando this season.
And although they were the better team last year by overall record, was a competitive matchup for them.
Guys, they split the season series, and you know there's always randomness to this game, the unpredictability of it. You win some, you lose some, but they certainly want to impose their talent level tonight.
Brandon Jennings, he's checked in for Orlando. It's incredible to think that Pau Gasol last year set a career high in points in a game for as long, Clark, as he's played. He had that 46-point game in January.
Yeah, that's 46 points for Pau to go with 18 rebounds. I mean,
right.
You rarely see a player of his age putting up a career high like that.
Yeah, slow start right now. 5 straight misses to get this one going. And the lead continues to increase. They are just playing flawless basketball at both ends.
Greg, I can't identify an area where this team has underperformed. I mean, they've been 5-star in every category.
You could not diagram a better way to open a quarter.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at the lead they've jumped out to already. What a start.
Hardaway kicks to Jennings. They get a hand on it. And here's the fast break. Jordan leading the way. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
This is crazy. Every shot they're taking right now is finding the mark.
Literally every shot, partner. I mean, they just aren't missing.
And with Powell, that 46-point game, he became the oldest player to get 45 points and 15 rebounds. And a final point, guys, with Powell's career game. It's crazy to think that he did it while not being the first offensive option. I mean, he had been the go-to guy with his time in Memphis for so long.
Catching up on the changes for Orlando. Ilyasova, he's checked in for Gordon. Evan Fournier comes in for Gerald Wallace. And it's Victor Oladipo in for Hardaway. Wow, we're going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Kevin. That was special.
My goodness, that was almost a circus-like dunk.
Now here's Jennings. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Oklahoma City.
And also defensively, he was really aggressive. I mean, matter of fact, he had 4 steals over the course of that game.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Orlando making some changes. Scotty's checked in for Vucevic, and it's Payton in for Brandon Jennings. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Here's Oladipo. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Scott against Boozer. And stolen by Jordan. In transition, here come the Bulls. Goes up. Now that's how to finish the break. Throw down with force.
No doubt they've come into this game with a really aggressive approach, just pounding the ball inside.
It certainly is working. They're finding the open lanes to the hoop and owning this game early.
And here come the Bulls again. Chicago with the fast break.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Jason Smith, he's checked in for Oladipo. Took him no time at all on that one. And it's now 22 points for Michael.
Hard to believe you could have this kind of a flow. Unbelievable.
Talk about putting up points in a hurry. He can't miss right now. A splendid pass that time by Rose.
Orlando's gone 0 of 2 from deep here.
And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of playoff seasoned veterans to that roster.
And out of bounds is the Magic will gain possession. Quick hands and the ability to anticipate the opening to create a turnover, so valuable, especially for a guard, as we see two tremendous talents with their ability to steal that ball away.
You know, and John Stockton, the only player to have cracked the 3,000 barrier in terms of career steals. You ask the fans about Stockton, and it's his passing they'll remember. But if you ask the players he's played up against, they'll tell you it's his defense that was just as sharp.
And here is Payton after Jimmy Butler made that last three-pointer. Always going up for the alley-oop here. From past the arc. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. And it's 8 points for Butler.
And really setting the tone early with the three-point shooting.
Greg, that's already 5 made triples in the first quarter. What a start.
Smith. Another miss, and they desperately need a bucket. Here's Chicago. Here's Rose. Takes it into the teeth of the knee and converts the layup. Rose has got 7 points.
You know, it's really hard not to notice the difference in the passing of these two teams today.
It's a stark discrepancy when you look at the assist columns and you see that difference as far as the fluidity in their respective offenses.
Throws down the breakaway jam.
How about that now? What a sensational finish.
Oh, got to be able to get some hang time to do that one.
Yeah, you got to rise and levitate.
Suspend yourself.
Yeah, levitate.
Almost. How about the glide in and then also to reverse it?
Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. 9 seconds left in the first quarter. The drive by Jordan takes it into the teeth of the knee and converts the layup. Jordan's got 26 points.
He's got some serious momentum going right now. He's been great all day, even last game.
We're at the end of the first quarter, and what a blowout already in this one. It's the Bulls running away with this one. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. And well, their story is a bit like a fairy tale, the way two of them, sons of medical professionals in Spain, have become two of the best centers in the NBA of this era.
Yeah, and especially, Kevin, when you remember what a raw talent and how big and bulky Marc Gasol was when he was drafted by the Lakers, who traded him to Memphis for his brother.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Bulls.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court for Orlando, they've got Anderson. Vucevic is out there with Wallace. Then there's Jennings, and it's Oladipo in at the 2.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
There's got to be a wall of defense when it comes to attacking the paint. Plain and simple.
And then slammed in by Jordan.
Now this is just getting ridiculous. They can't possibly keep this up.
Can't remember the last time they missed one. Remarkable shooting here.
Derrick Rose, unbelievable spirit. We know about his toughness, has fought through injuries of all kinds that might cause a lesser competitor to hang up his sneakers.
And competitor, that's the word, Kevin. I mean, he was impossible to outcompete at the high school level, the college level, and now in the pros.
Catching up on the changes for Orlando. Gordon comes in for Anderson. And Hardaway is subbed in for Brandon Jennings. Jordan against Hardaway. And now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second quarter. And it's Gordon missing.
And, you know, back to D. Rose for a moment. He drives the lane now as hard as he did before the injury. It's a level of fearlessness that only a few guys possess. And it's not teachable. You either have it or you don't.
Ball's knocked loose. Butler with the steal. And another fast break for Chicago. Bulls running. Finishes the break with a slam.
No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a 1-footer. Come on now.
And, you know, back to D. Rose. He grew up in a brutally dangerous neighborhood on Chicago's south side. Some of that fearlessness, that competitiveness he exhibits was learned early on out of necessity.
Oladipo misses.
Really tough for this group right now, trying anything to stop the run.
And no matter what they've tried, it hasn't worked. I think they've just got to slow it down, idle it back, and get back to the basics. What a top-notch game he's having. He's gotten them in front, and it sure seemed like he's going to keep them there. All by himself, it looks like.
Stolen by Boozer. Here's Jordan. Oh. And he takes that one up and powers it through. Putting on a show for these people.
I cannot believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game. Are you kidding me?
I'll tell you what, Mama always said, if you got it, flaunt it.
Let it fly. Let it fly.
Mama said that, huh?
Clearly, they've been the hotter team here in the first half.
Well, they've been grit and grind, working for those high percentage shots, and quite honestly, it's paid off for them.
And Oladipo, here we go. And that time, also a missed shot.
You love the closeout on that possession.
Excellent defense, active, and he made it a very tough shot for him. Boy, that's such a beautiful move, Kevin. Why go straight up when you can throw down the reverse?
That one's going to have its share of time on the highlight reel for sure.
It better. I mean, I'd be shocked if we don't see that thing again tonight.
One problem the Magic faced last season was depth. They really weren't.
Just a good, solid, aggressive finish there on the break.
Not going to get much easier than that, Greg. Simple.
To the middle. Another shot. Can't get it to go. Now Chicago takes it the other way. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
Good. Just like, shoot, a little more ferocious, though.
Okay, Clark approves, everybody.
Yeah, but that's how you finish strong. Young fella's wearing the rim out.
Vucevic dishes to Oladipo. Vucevic with it. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Oklahoma City.
Yeah, but he was the ultimate two-way player. Defensively, also doing a great job. A couple blocks in that game as well.
And it's Jordan. That time on the assist by Boozer. Boozer's got his third assist on the night. The Magic have gone an abysmal 0 of 6 from the field since the second quarter began. Hardaway kicks to Vucevic. He dishes it to Oladipo. Vucevic gets double-teamed and stolen by Jordan. Oh, and a fast break for the Bulls. Rose has tapped the ball.
And they're not taking their foot off the pedal. They just keep adding to their lead.
Well, it's never a good idea to back off and ease up, and it doesn't look like that thought's even crossed their mind. I love it.
Knocks it loose and stolen by Jordan. By himself, rips down the breakaway slam.
Kevin, he's definitely making his presence felt here in the first half. He's been very effective so far.
And so here's Orlando. They want to keep rolling here following the win against the Thunder.
And after that game, it was impressive to look at the box score and see the work they did at the free throw line.
And not only what they did in making them, but what they did to get to the line. I mean, they were constantly in attack mode, driving the lane and drawing fouls.
And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back.
And continuing to cough it up here, the TOs threatening to cost these guys the game.
Yeah, you want to get a shot every time down, even if it's a tough shot. Any shot is better than no shot. You just don't want to turn it over.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Joakim Noah is checked in for Gasol. Grant comes in for Boozer, and it's Rodman in for Jimmy Butler. Orlando with the ball. Outside Jennings. Inside, here's Fournier. Misses and the dry spell continues. And here's the fast break. Rose leading the way.
And how sweet a play was that?
As sweet as it gets. An exquisite pass to set up Clark that beautiful alley-oop dunk.
Yeah, that was nice.
No doubt. There are assists, and then, guys,
a dominating.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what a show being put on here for the home fans tonight. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Chicago was looking great right away. Seemingly flawless as the game. Just about time for the third quarter to get underway, and we'll see.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started.
How about Michael Jordan in this one? He's got 44 points and a ridiculous number of steals.
And his offense has matched the defensive effort today. He's been really just one of the best players on both ends.
I don't know if you can say enough about the job he's been doing in all aspects of the game. I mean, stuff in the stat sheet when you look at it.
At the 3 and 4, Butler and Boozer. Derrick Rose is out there with Michael Jordan, and it's Gasol in at the 5. And that's the group for Fred Hoiberg as we begin the second half.
And for Wallace last season, his main contribution was made on the sideline and in the locker room. A mentor and a spiritual leader for the Celtics. He rarely saw floor time, but his presence was felt by the young players looking for guidance, getting it from the aggressor we used to call Crash.
I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout, just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that can't continue. I mean, if they hope to get back in this game, I mean, it's really deflating from a morale standpoint. They need stops and points, not turnovers. This is a nice third quarter surge here. They've got it going right now.
And a perfect time to get hot, just as we get into the meat of the second half here.
And here we go again. The Bulls in transition. Up the court they go.
And it's all one-way traffic tonight, boy. They have been lights out offensively.
And there's no telling how big that lead's going to get. But, again, it's just one game, but nonetheless a very impressive one, the way they've handled their business here.
Greg, when you think about Wallace's career, you think about the reckless style of play that led to his success, but also Clark off into the injuries.
Yeah, you know, I think the toughness Wallace is imbuing in the younger players is a positive as long as it's balanced with control and discipline. That's the key.
And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
And with a moment, let's check out the stats for Vucevic. He's coming off an excellent season. 6th in rebounding, 9th in shooting percentage, and he ranked in the top 15 in points per game, one of the league's premier offensive threats.
And he was a top 10 rebounder for good reason. I mean, he's incredibly intense, and he goes hard for the full 48 minutes.
The Magic making a switch here. Smith checked in for Vucevic. Ilyasova comes in for Aaron Gordon.
That's how he makes his presence felt.
And we see him do it time and again. He is a special talent.
Sure
is.
is.
And guys, as important as it is to go out and compete, let's not forget the entertainment element of this game. What an unreal finisher.
And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play. And Scott has it in the corner. Another miss by Orlando.
And they start the second half with 3 straight misses.
And a wide-open look for Jordan. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Jordan's got 52 points. The Magic have gone 0-3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second half. To the inside, it's tipped. Gasol with the steal. And here we go, the Bulls fast break. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
What an incredible run they're on right now. Offense as well as I've ever seen it played.
Every single guy on their team with the absolute Midas magic touch, shooting the lights out here.
And Fournier kicks to Payton. Ilyasova against Boozer. There's a good screen. 5 to shoot. Fournier for 3. It's all in by the Bulls. Gasol's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Rose passes to Gasol. And the Bulls another 3.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
Bulls made the postseason for the 10th time in their last 11 seasons. Last year, they have become a fixture, Greg, in the playoffs in the East.
And how about last season, Kevin, had that interdivision matchup in their first round against the up-and-coming Bucks. Some hiccups form in that series, but they were able to prevail.
Here's Scott. Orlando gets it back.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
And it's Butler with the jam.
You know what? Feed the beast. You got to look for him every trip down because he's been out of his mind this quarter.
And there's a minute 45 left to play in the third. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right. And so the ball out of bounds. Jordan touched it last.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
So for the Bulls, Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Gasol. Grant comes in for Boozer, and it's Rodman in for Jimmy Butler. Then for the Magic, Andrew Nicholson, he's checked in for Jason Smith. And it's Jennings in for Elfrid Payton.
And a great job of taking advantage of the steal there to get those easy ones in transition.
You know, that's exactly how you draw it up, Greg, on the board. I mean, good defensive work, aggressive play in the open court. Those two things are hand in glove when they work together.
Anderson, he's checked in for Orlando. Victor Oladipo comes in for Evan Fournier. Chicago has gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. Rose gets a wide open look, and again it's the Bulls from deep.
It has been a 3-point barrage for them since halftime.
Not sure if it's been by design or simply by accident, but either way, it has been impressive.
Out of bounds, Orlando takes possession. And let's go to the 2K leaderboard to see the teams that blocked the most shots in the NBA last year. 4th, the Bulls.
A big part of their defense really revolved around their ability to block shots at the rim. It's so valuable to have that kind of backline protection. Allows you to be aggressive on the perimeter.
And Orlando making a change here. Gordon's checked in. 52 seconds left to play here in the third. Here's Jordan. It's Chicago with another bucket.
His shooting has been outstanding here. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Jennings against Jordan. The drive by Gordon. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Gordon.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Well, Chicago's gotten the three ball working for them in the second half. They've hit 3 out of 3 shots from long range. From deep, Jordan, another three for Chicago.
And really, it looks like he may just try to take this thing over on his own and really build that lead up.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. It's back to Jennings. And just miss after miss right now.
Well, I don't like to see anybody miss a layup. Boy, that was painful to watch.
Rodman, it's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rodman's got 6.
Well, I think he shot the ball well, guys, but I don't think he shot it enough. The more shots he gets from here on out, the more they'll stretch out this lead.
And at the... And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Here's Orlando now. And following this one, they'll take on the Hornets in New Orleans. And that game will be game 2 of 3 straight on the road. And so in the game for the Magic, Fournier out there with Payton. Then there's Scott. Then there's Andrew Nicholson. And it's Smith in at the 5. Payton against Bibby. It's Scott on the wing. Shoots the 3. Poked loose. Outside Jordan. From the arc. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
You know, his ability is matched only by his energy, guys. I mean, he's usually in the middle of everything for his team.
Payton kicks to Fournier.
You know, another point of contention between every NBA fan is whether or not the age restriction is a good thing. Some want it increased, others want it gone altogether. You know, for me, it's a matter of whether or not you as a team feel that that player can make an impact on your roster.
In transition, here come the Bulls. And finished off by McDermott.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And there are arguments, Clark, on both sides for the NBA and the age restriction it has currently right now. Having one seems to have helped the level of play overall, but I think there's some improvements that can be made.
Yeah, with the D-League coming into its own, though, Kevin, the discussion has opened up again. NBA teams used to not have a place for high school players. The D-League could serve in that regard now, but having a restriction is something that I think has helped the NBA. I actually would like to see it be 20 years old.
Me too. McDermott with a steal. Jumps up. Hammers it home to polish off the break.
This is crazy. Every shot they're taking right now is finding the mark.
Literally every shot, partner. I mean, they just aren't missing.
Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin. Boy, the pass there floated up to the precise spot where it needed to be.
And no messing around in the finish, huh? He powers it through.
Sure didn't waste any time there.
And, guys, that's an alley-oop I guarantee you we'll be seeing on the highlight reels for the next few days.
Stolen by Bibby. And now Bibby pushing it up, and no one back to stop him. And finished off by McDermott.
The fast break opportunities do not get any easier than that one off the steal.
Exactly. The defense really no chance to get back.
The Magic have gotten off to a rough start in the fourth quarter here, going 0 for 4 so far. Looking to end the run. Another miss by Orlando.
Can't get anything to drop. I mean, the way he's going, it's probably not something he should try and shoot his way out of.
Well, they say you should shoot your way out of it, but his teammates probably have other thoughts in mind. The last thing they want to see him doing is continuing to cast that jumper up.
to the left side wing. Unloads. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Jordan. Jordan's got his 9th assist in the game now. Orlando's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Here's Nicholson. He's covered by Grant. Smith kicks to Scott. Good ball movement here by the Magic. And stolen by Jordan. Right wing. McDermott, no one around him. Another three for Chicago. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Bulls.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. They've been in attack mode on the defensive end.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
5 on the clock, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
No clue where that pass is going. That is a brutal turnover.
Rose, he's checked in for Jordan. Orlando also making some changes. Ilyasova comes in for Nicholson. And it's Anderson in for Evan Fournier. Got that bucket in no time at all. Bibby's got 4 points this quarter.
We're seeing the shots start to fall for them now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this has been an extremely efficient second half for them up to this point.
Here's Smith. Another miss, and they desperately need a bucket. Chicago has gotten off to a great start from three-point range in the final quarter. They're a perfect 3 of 3, and the shot is good.
What a final. Quarter these guys are having from downtown, just burying the threes in bunches.
And they might as well keep going back to the well. No reason not to. I mean, work that perimeter. It's going good for you. Work it until it stops.
Anderson dishes to Smith. And nothing but air on that one.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Bulls.
Agreed, Steve, and as one-sided as it gets today. You know, Clark, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
You're right, Kevin. It's hard to think of anything that didn't go right for them. I mean, game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was spot on.
And during the long NBA season, each contest important here tonight. Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season.
And at key points in this game, they stayed committed to their brand of basketball. That's why they'll be taking the front end of this 3-game season series against the Magic.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Jordan. There isn't much else you want from someone. He gave it his all and was rewarded with a triple-double.
And here's Rose outside. That's good. And it's Bibby with the assist that time.
That one will seal the deal there. They've exploded here at the end.
Boy, I love the serious killer instinct they've shown. Finishing strong.
And now Bibby pushing it up, and no one back to stop him. Throws down the breakaway jam.
And just a terrific job of taking care of business. In front of the home fans.
And Greg, those fans had a hand in the win. I mean, they gave this team a big lift throughout the game. I thought there was great energy in the building.
And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and Clark the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
Well, I think these fans too, Kevin, gave their team a tremendous lift. I mean, they never gave up on them. From the opening tip until the end of the game, they were in it. And that certainly helped this crew get.
Well, gentlemen, I'm here with
the 2K Sports postgame show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Now let's take. It was lights out shooting at its best from him in this game. And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K.